Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 5th chapter, text 23 to 24. Shri Prahlada Uvacha. Shri Prahlada Uvacha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Padasevanam. Smaranam Padasevanam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Sakyam Atmanivedanam. Sakyam Atmanivedanam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu. Bhaktischennavalakshana. Bhaktischennavalakshana. Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha. Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha. Tanmadye adithum uttamam. Tanmadye aditam uttamam. Shri Prahlada Uvacha. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Smaranam Padasevanam. Archanam Vandanam Dasyam. Sakyam Atmanivedanam. Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu. Bhaktischennavalakshana. Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanye Adhitamuttamam. Shri Prahrada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischennava Lakshana Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanye Aditamuttam. Shri Prahlada Uvacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischennava Lakshana Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanyeditamuttamam. Word to word translation. Shri Prahladaha Uvacha. Prahlad Maharaj said, Shravanam, hearing, Kirtanam, chanting, Vishnoho, of Lord Vishnu, not anyone else, Smaranam, remembering, Padasevanam, serving the feet, Archanam, offering worship, with Shodashopachara, the 16 kinds of paraphernalia, Vandanam, offering prayers, Dasyam, becoming the servant, Sakyam, becoming the best friend, Atma Nivedanam, surrendering everything, whatever one has, Iti, thus, Pumsa Arpita, offered by the devotee, Vishnu, unto Lord Vishnu, not to anyone else. Bhakti, devotional service. Chet, if. Nava Lakshana, possessing 9 different processes. Kriyeta, one should perform. Bhagavati, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adha, directly or completely. Tat, that. Manye, I consider. Adhitam, learning. Uttamam, topmost. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming His servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto Him. In other words, serving Him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. It's a very long purport. So what we'll do is we'll only cover, at least we'll try to cover the first 3 processes today. What we'll do is we'll read the purport and then we'll split up the devotees here into 3 groups. I think there'll be enough people for just 3 groups, I guess. Three people in one group. And so you want to know which group you are in, so come up, remember all 3 of them, 3 processes. So we will see what is it that, each of these processes, Prabhupada is wonderfully distilling the essence of the process. I think it will be very helpful to identify what are the essential elements of that particular process. And also think about, for example, Shravanam. The same hearing can be misused in this material world. And what misfortune or, what challenges face, people when they misuse that. Think of some examples of famous people or famous incidents where they just heard something and their whole, life got into chaos or something. Okay, so we'll read the purport here. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Prahlad Maharaj was asked by his father to say something from whatever he had learned, he considered that what he had learned from his spiritual master was the best of all teachings. Whereas what he had learned about diplomacy from his material teachers, Shanda and Amarka, was useless. Bhakti pareshanu bhavo viraktir anyatra cha. Bhagavatam 11:2-42. This is the symptom of pure devotional service. A pure devotee is interested only in devotional service, not in material affairs. To execute devotional service, one should always engage in hearing and chanting about Krishna or Lord Vishnu. The process of temple worship is called Archana. How to perform Archana will be explained herein. One should have complete faith in the words of Krishna, who says that he is the great well-wishing friend of everyone. Suhridam sarva bhutanam. A devotee considers Krishna the only friend. This is called Sakyam. Pumsarpita Vishnu. The word Pumsa means by all living entities. There are no distinctions permitting only a man or only a Brahmana to offer devotional service to the Lord. Everyone can do so, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.32. Sriyo Vaishyas tata Shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Although women, Vaishyas and Sudras are considered less intelligent, they also can become devotees and return home back to Godhead. After performing sacrifices, sometimes a person engaged in fruitive activity customarily offers the results to Vishnu. But here it is said, Bhagavati Adha, one must directly offer everything to Vishnu. This is called sannyasa, not merely nyasa. A tridandi sannyasi carries 3 dandas, signifying kaya, mana, vakya, body, mind and words. All of this should be offered to Vishnu, and then one can begin devotional service. Fruitive workers first perform some pious activities and then formally or officially offer the results to Vishnu. The real devotee, however, first offers his surrender to Krishna with his body, mind and words, and then uses his body, mind and words for the service of Krishna as Krishna desires. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura gives the following explanation in his Tatya. The word Shravana refers to giving oral reception to the holy name and descriptions of the Lord's form, qualities, entourage and pastimes as explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and similar authorized scriptures. After orally receiving such messages, One should memorize these vibrations and repeat them. Kirtanam. Smaranam means trying to understand more and more about the Supreme Lord, and Padasevanam means engaging oneself in serving the lotus feet of the Lord according to the time and circumstances. Archanam means worshipping Lord Vishnu as one does in the temple, and Vandanam means offering respectful obeisances. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Vandanam means offering namaskuru, offering obeisances or offering prayers. Thinking oneself to be Nitya Krishna Dasa, everlastingly a servant of Krishna, is called Dasyam. And Sakyam means being a well-wisher of Krishna. Krishna wants everyone to surrender unto him because everyone is constitutionally his servant. Therefore, as a sincere friend of Krishna, one should preach this philosophy, requesting everyone to surrender unto Krishna. Atma Nivedanam means offering Krishna everything, including one's body, mind, intelligence, and whatever one may possess. It is a really long purport. One sincere endeavor to perform these 9 processes of devotional service is technically called Bhakti. The word Adha means directly. One should not be like the karmis who perform pious activities and then formally offer the results to Krishna. That is karma kanda. One should not aspire for the results of his pious activities, but should dedicate oneself fully and then act piously. In other words, one should act for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu, not for the satisfaction of his own senses. That is the meaning of the word Adha directly. Anyabhilashita shunyam gnana karmadi anavrutam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for the material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. One should simply satisfy Krishna without being influenced by fruitive knowledge or fruitive activity. The Gopala Tapani Upanishad says that the word bhakti means engagement in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not of anyone else. This Upanishad describes that bhakti is the offering of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To perform devotional service, one should be relieved of the bodily conception of life and aspirations to be happy through elevation to the higher planetary systems. In other words, work performed simply for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord without any desire for material benefits is called bhakti. Bhakti is also called nishkarma or freedom from the results of fruitive activity. Bhakti and nishkarma are on the same platform, although devotional service and fruitive activity appear almost the same. The 9 different processes enunciated by Prahlad Maharaj, who learned them from Narada Muni, may not all be required for the execution of devotional service. If a devotee performs only one of these 9 without deviation, he can attain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes it is found that when one performs one of the processes, other processes are mixed with it. That is not improper for a devotee. When a devotee executes any one of the 9 processes, Navalakshana, this is sufficient. The other 8 processes are included. Now let us discuss these 9 different processes. Shravanam, hearing of the holy name of the Lord. Shravanam is the beginning of devotional service. Although any one of the 9 processes is sufficient in chronological order, the hearing of the holy name of the Lord is the beginning. Indeed, it is essential. As enunciated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is cleansed of the material conception of life, which is due to the dirty modes of material nature. When the dirt is cleansed from the core of one's heart, one can realize the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Paramah Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. Thus, by hearing the holy name of the Lord, one comes to the platform of understanding the personal form of the Lord. After realizing the Lord's form, one can realize the transcendental qualities of the Lord. And when one can understand his transcendental qualities, one can understand the Lord's associates. In this way, a devotee advances further and further toward complete understanding of the Lord as he awakens in realization of the Lord's holy name, transcendental form and qualities, his paraphernalia, and everything pertaining to him. Therefore, the chronological process is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. This same process of chronological understanding holds true in chanting and remembering. When the chanting of the holy name, form, qualities, and paraphernalia is heard from the mouth of a pure devotee, his hearing and chanting are very pleasing. Srila Sanatana Goswami has forbidden us to hear the chanting of an artificial devotee or non-devotee. Hearing from the text of Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the most important process of hearing. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of transcendental chanting of the holy name, and therefore the chanting and hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam are transcendently full of mellows. The transcendental holy name of the Lord may be heard and chanted accordingly to the attraction of the devotee. One may chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, or one may chant the holy name of Lord Rama or Narasimha Deva. Rama Dimurti Shukala Niyamena Tishtan. The Lord has innumerable forms and names, and devotees may meditate upon a particular form and chant the holy name according to his attraction. The best course is to hear of the holy name, form, and so on from a pure devotee of the same standard as oneself. In other words, one who is attached to Krishna should chant and hear from other pure devotees who are also attached to Lord Krishna. The same principle applies for devotees attracted to by Lord Rama, Lord Narasimha, and other forms of the Lord. Because Krishna is the ultimate form of the Lord, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, it is best to hear about Lord Krishna's name, form, and pastimes from a realized devotee who is particularly attracted by the form of Lord Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, great devotees like Shukadeva Goswami have specifically described Lord Krishna's holy name, form, and qualities. Unless one hears about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord, one cannot clearly understand the other processes of devotional service. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that one chant the holy name of Krishna. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. If one is fortunate enough to hear from the mouth of realized devotees, he is very easily successful in the path of devotional service. Therefore, hearing of the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord is essential. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.11, there is this verse. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abaddhavati api namani anantasya yasho ankitani yat shunvanti gayanti grananti sadavaha. This is I think it's too huge. I'll just finish with Shravanam for today because we'll go on for longer time. Verses describing the name, form, and qualities of Anantadeva, the unlimited Supreme Lord, are able to vanquish all the sinful reactions of the entire world. Therefore, even if such verses are improperly composed, devotees hear them, describe them, and accept them as bona fide and authorized. In this connection, Sridhara Swami has remarked that a pure devotee takes advantage of another pure devotee by trying to hear from him about the holy name, form, and qualities of the Lord. If there is no such opportunity, he alone chants and hears the Lord's holy name. We'll continue the purport in the next class. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Glananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with his body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So we see here, Prahlad Maharaj is telling what is the best thing he has learned. And he's saying, what I learned from my spiritual master is the best thing. And the diplomacy that he learned from Shanda and Amarka was useless. And he's describing here the 9 processes of serving the Lord and attracting his attention. I was recently hearing about some very path-breaking neuroscience research that is being done in Stanford and Berkeley. So, they're trying to understand, like in this modern world today, like if you think about America, and think about even in very affluent families within America, people are trying different means to be happy. Right? And we are seeing that their methods of trying for happiness are resulting in huge suffering, right? To oneself and to others. And so the scientists are doing research and saying, what is going on? What is the science of happiness in the brain? And it is very interesting how they are stumbling upon some of the secrets that our Shastras have been telling us from a long, long time. So one of the things they're researching is, this concept of addiction. What they have found is that when a person gets attracted to instant gratification of any kind and tries to get more and more of it, then the way the brain and the neuroscience is designed, the more you try to go after sense gratification, the lesser and lesser things give you happiness, and you need more and more quantity of it. So, for example, it has become a very common thing now. Oh, we'll take some recreational drugs to give happiness. Right? But this has been going on for a long time. Nothing new about it. Now they're just trying to make legalize it and all that. So, they take these drugs and instantly at that moment they feel very happy. Why? Because the drug is designed, usually there is a huge dopamine surge associated with all these drugs. Right? You take the drug, suddenly, you feel very happy. But then, the dopamine surge is followed by a huge dopamine drop. And dopamine is needed for basic survival. If you don't have a certain level of dopamine, a person feels suicidal. That's what, can you imagine? If you don't have it, you feel like however rich you are, however this thing you are, however everything is going good for you, you'll feel that there is nothing in this world. You feel like jumping in front of, people literally, when they take these drugs and the dopamine drops very badly, they'll just go to the building, just jump off. They just walk in front of a truck. They're literally like drawn to killing themselves. Right? Now, you take the drug, I'm just making the numbers, I have no idea of the exact quantity. So let's say 1 gram of the drug gives you this boost, and there's a drop, and then you are like, oh, that was so nice, I need more of it. Now, 1 gram won't give you the same thing. This time you have to take 1.5 gram or something. Next year is 2 gram. Next year is 3 gram. Next year is 4 grams. What happens next? What happens next? Most of us know it. Huh? You'll not be there to take it because at a certain level the drug will kill you. It's called overdose. Most of these drugs at a certain level literally stop the heart, stop your breathing. It's gone. And so these neuroscientists have studied this and they're saying, you know what? The secret to happiness is actually withholding, we should withhold from these kind of things and indulge in them in small quantities. Practicing of, tapasya or austerity or, staying away from these things is the means of, increasing your happiness. They're saying, the more austerity and tapasya you practice, even smallest of things will give you happiness. And the more and more you practice, the kind of things, the quality of things, and the number of things that can give you happiness, and small thing also will give you happiness. Actually, if you keep extending that, basically, one can get happiness from himself. They don't need any external things. The Supreme Lord is there in one's heart, chanting the names of the Lord, thinking of the Lord. Just that will give you unlimited happiness. And the pursuit of material happiness and sense gratification will only result in failure because the mind-body is designed like that. You see the beauty of the Lord's creation. He has designed his mind-body system it is meant for devotional service. It is meant for practicing these things, these 9 processes. And that is why we see here, Srila Prabhupada is describing the different 9 processes, and specifically there's a detailed description of Shravanam. And one of the key messages that we took away here was you have to directly serve. We have just 10 minutes. So let's do like this. Let's at least spend 5 minutes. We'll just divide in 2 groups. One group can look at what are the positives of Shravanam, what are the key things that Prabhupada is calling out that we should do about Shravanam. And then maybe other group can talk about a few examples of where Shravanam gets you into trouble. Wrong Shravanam gets you into trouble. We can just go and we'll do 1, 2, 1, 2. Like 1, 2. Deepa Mataji is 2. Okay. So all the ones can come here, 2s can come here. So the one can talk about what are the key messages about Shravanam that Srila Prabhupada talks about in the purport. Maybe distill it to 3 of them. And the 2s can talk about same Shravanam not applied properly. How can it get you into trouble? Some examples you can come up with. Okay, we'll take about 4 more minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the most. Okay, so let's take 4 minutes, 7:25. And then we'll try to summarize. Okay. The second group can think about some historical thing, something happened to somebody, historical in Shastra or something. Take some exam, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay. Time is up. Sugata, can you give the microphone to the first group? Okay, time is up. 7:25. Everybody should take turns. Go. Yes. Okay, team 2, please listen to team 1.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes,
So,
Mataji.
yeah, we have discussed 3 points, Prabhu. First point, for Shravanam is,
Team 2, can you please listen to team 1? Okay.
first we have to cleanse our body by hearing, so that we can realize the God, so that we can, yeah. First we have to first by Shravanam, we'll cleanse our body, cleanse
Or
our
consciousness.
heart. And, yeah. Then we can realize the God and we can understand the God.
Wonderful.
Second point is first hearing from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And third one, hearing and chanting from pure devotee.
And also Prabhupada specifies a little bit more nuance he gives. Not just hearing from pure devotee, but he adds a little bit more color. What does he say? Who are also attached to the same form of the Lord. He's basically saying there are certain devotees who are very attached to Lord Ramachandra, or certain, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita there is a description, right? Who was attached to Lord Ramachandra? Murari Gupta, right? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself just tries to dissuade him. But then, he says, I was just trying to test you. I wanted to reaffirm your commitment to this thing. And so, Prabhupada is telling, one should hear to a pure devotee who's also in the same, attracted to the same form of the Lord. It could be Lord Ramachandra, it could be Lord Narsimha, and he says, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is also, is the, Krishna means all attractive. It's easy to get attracted to him. Very good. Anything else? Any other points? Those are very nice points, right? The hearing will purify one's heart, the cleansing of the heart example, right? Okay, team 2, let us see who's going to.
Yeah, we made a list, but we'll talk about only 3 now, Prabhu.
You pick the top 3, yeah.
Okay. So, but I'll cover everything in that top 3. So historical is Kaikeya listening to Mandara and Duryodhana listening to Shakuni. And second one is wrong hearing is hearing from Mayavadis or people like professional preachers who preach Bhagavatam for money. And from, that's the second one. And third one is any other WhatsApp, social media, overdosage of news or karmis, all that comes under third one.
Nice. And the first one, people are listening to others who have malicious intent, right? Also, you can add to that list somebody like Vishwamitra, right? What did he listen to? Ankle wells. He was sitting there and doing intense tapasya. You always have an option. The sound came, yes, but the thing is, you should understand in the Bhagavad Gita, the secret is given, right? Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. We will always be exposed in this world to all kinds of sounds. Do we have a choice, like you said, right? He was sitting and doing by himself. Somebody came and made the sound. That is a secondary problem. But you don't have to. No? In this world, wherever you're sitting, only sound will come. Now, the thing is, dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. He could have just heard it, he could have forgotten. So many sounds he is hearing. No? He's sitting over there in the forest. Do you think there is no sound there? Birds are chirping, these things, everything is going on. But dhyayata. Correct. So is Vishwamitra's accidental or is it purposeful? Right? Vishwamitra's is also accidental. There is no difference. I mean, in one sense, Ajamila's situation and Vishwamitra's situation is both the same. But both of them did the same mistake. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Ajamila kept thinking and thinking and thinking and just... See, actually the way this works is the more you think, the problem becomes bigger. That's how this world is designed. In fact, the whole marketing as a science that people follow today is about creating impressions, they call it. The word is called impression. You buy per impression. How many times you are exposing living entities to this? Oh, this is nice and this will make you happy. This is nice. That is why most of the advertisements, nothing about the product and nothing. They'll put either a beautiful man or a beautiful woman and that's it. The product you can't even see. Famous person, brand ambassador, one thing. You are only thinking, oh, this person, oh, if they are taking, we should also take. You are creating impressions. But dhyayato vishyan pumsaha. Their misfortune was they started contemplating on it. They could have just heard and forgotten it, problem would have been solved. Yes. Huh.
So he forbids to listen from artificial devotee, the name of the Lord. But name of the Lord is transcendental, right? How do we understand like, the meaning?
See, because what happens, like listening from a Mayavadi. Prabhupada used to give the example, payo, like milk touched by the lips of a serpent. Milk is pure, it is nourishing, it is very important for life. But the same milk touched by the lips of a serpent, who is poisonous, what will happen to you? Along with the goodness of the milk, poison will also come to you. So when a Mayavadi is reading the same Bhagavatam, he is taking every verse and trying to squeeze out Mayavadi meanings out of it. At the end of it, if you read all that and then realize that you are Brahman, you are God yourself, you don't need to do anything. Clean yourself, you will become supreme. What is the purpose of all of that? Right? It is misleading. That is why Prabhupada, his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everybody was so emphatic about Mayavadya Bhasha Shunile Hoy Sarvanash. One has to be very careful about that. Yeah. See? Narayana only they say Daridra Narayana. What is this Daridra Narayana concept? Right? It just completely misleads you from the goal of life. It's already pretty late. Okay. We'll stop here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Bol Premanande.